Good morning, beloveds. I'm not entirely sure I'm awake. And I've already been up, been on the phone, went for a bike ride, and yet I'm still not awake. Yesterday I made a brief reference to the fact that I was modeling. And it was because yesterday I hadn't checked to see if it was public knowledge or not yet. But my teacher, my mentor, my friend, Pat Ricard, made her transition Tuesday night. Probably decided to take that pretty awful storm that came through to go home. So, yeah. And yesterday I just had to deal with it, and today I'm emotional. So, just wanted to warn you, and especially since the title's kind of interesting. Our title is Whatever the Problem. So it is June 23rd. Our title is Whatever the Problem. And our author is Dana Gatlin from God is the Answer from 1939. And it's from Unity. She's from Unity. So whatever the problem. Whatever the problem, God is the answer. Spirit comes forth for us accordingly as we learn to turn to it in trust, trusting it rather than the sorry circumstances that seem to enmesh us. Trust Spirit ceaselessly. We can be released and divinely aided. We can be lifted up into the realm where we know we are secure because we are under divine dominion. God is the answer. Thank Spirit. It frees us from the human angers, suspicions, unruly emotions, and impulses, doubts, contentiousness, the sense of human danger and pain. Spirit fortifies, strengthens, and heals us. It provides for our every need. And that's it. That's it. That is the reading. And needless to say, I agree with her, because it's the truth. When you're in practitioner training and when you're in ministerial training, what they teach you is no matter what happens, treat first. Treat first. No matter what is going on, your first response should always be treat first. Now, in certain situations, i.e. somebody's life is on the line, obviously you render aid and assistance, but you treat while you're doing it. So it's always the first response is to go to Spirit, to go to God, while you, and then render, material aid, but you can do them both at the same time. So if you have a problem with somebody, you go to God. If you have, if you're caught up in something, you go to God. If things are going really well, you go to God. That's one of the reasons why we have the term pray up, get prayed up. It's like while things are good, you want to go ahead and get into the regular habit of treatment, of prayer, of going to God. So that when problems crop up, you go to God first. Frequently, we leave God as the last resort, when God should always be the first resort. You go, no matter what is going on in your life, you go to God and say, hey, you know what? This is what's going on in my life. And if it's good, then you say, and it's wonderful and I'm happy and thank you. And I would like more of this. And if it's messy, then you go to God and you say, hey, this is what's going on. It's messy. I don't know what to do. Guide me, and notice how I said, I didn't say, please guide me. I didn't ask for guidance, but I asked for guidance. I stated that my intention is I'm willing to be guided, because the truth is God is always going to guide us. It's up to us to pay attention. Which then goes back to the point of, whenever there's a problem, where do we go first? Okay. So I would suggest getting prayed up. I would suggest getting prayed up. And the reason being, and I did mention I was a little emotional today, but I am prayed up. And so, while yes, I'm going to miss her, as I said last night to a mutual friend of that I know because of her. It occurs to me that I wouldn't have the dearest friend, one of my dearest friends, if I hadn't known Pat. Actually, there's a number of people. There's a whole lot of people in my life I wouldn't know if I hadn't known Pat. God, a whole lot of people. Yeah. And I just lost my train. Oh, I will miss her fiercely. But I know that she's safe. And I know that she's healthy. And I know, and so, and I know this because I've gone to God first. Because I'm prayed up. Because because I know who I am. And I know who she is. And I know who, it's like, no, her loss is not a tragedy. It is I will miss her fiercely. All of us who knew her and loved her will miss her fiercely. But we know where she is. We know where she is. So that's whenever there's a problem. I think that was a really good reading for me today, and hopefully it's helpful to you. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to get prayed up. To get prayed up. To go to God now. And I was talking to my partner, and I made the comment about, we were talking about something completely different, but it's children. It's like, always listen to the little stuff. Because if you don't listen to the little stuff, they won't bring you the big stuff, because to them it was always big stuff. Well, that's how it is with God. It's all little stuff to God. It's all big stuff to us. But God always listens to the little stuff. Okay? Because it's always big stuff to us. So the mission today is to get prayed up. Go to God now. And go to God with everything. Go to God with the good stuff. Go to God with the okay stuff. Go to God with the, I'd rather not deal with this stuff. And be open and willing and listening for that guidance. That's what she said. It doesn't matter what you go to God with. God will always respond. God will always, and God can respond in amazing ways through other people. So so it's like, you go to God and say, hey, I really need some help here. And the next thing you know, you're having a conversation with somebody and the answer comes to you right there. It's like, God will find a way. So get prayed up. Go to God with the good stuff, the amazing stuff. Go to God with the amazing stuff. And, yeah. I can't, I'm okay. Whew. I'm sorry, I got distracted and I lost my train of thought. But the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to get prayed up, so that whenever there's a problem, you already have the answer. If you don't have the answer, you have the beginning of the answer. Go to God, whatever the problem. All right. I'm going to take a deep breath and reassess and sort myself out, and remind you that the other thing that I suggest every single day, I give you a mission every day, and then I remind you the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. It's especially important right now for me that I hold myself gently. Okay. That I acknowledge that I'm a little emotional, and that I take that deep breath when I need it. In whatever it is that is coming. So, I don't know what I was about to say. All the suggestions for self-care. Take a deep breath before you speak. Take a nap. Take a walk. Make room for joy. Take care of yourself. No matter what is happening, I'm going to go back to the airlines. Put your oxygen mask on, then help your neighbor. All right? You cannot pour from an empty cup. So take care of yourself. And that's why I say do something loving, do something kind, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever it is. For me today, it's acknowledging that I'm a little emotional and going with it. Okay. My nose is going to run. Pardon me while I have a human moment. Okay. I also want to remind you that no matter what is going on in the world, you deserve joy. Make room for it. Yes, about 6 months ago, Ruth made her transition, and now Pat has made her transition, and that throwaway line of eat dessert first is even more poignant. All right. Make room for joy. Do the things that make you happy. We have duties, we have responsibilities, but in all of that, we still have the obligation to ourselves and to our spirit to make room for joy. Okay? Even in the midst of sadness, you can make room for joy. The joy of, they say the depth of grief is how deeply you loved. Make room for joy. All right, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm choosing not to cry any more than I'm going to, and I'm going to just go ahead and move on with the rest of the suggestions because, love, kindness, compassion. And I'm not, while my cup isn't empty, it's not exactly full right now. Okay, so remember that. Make sure that you do something to engage your mind and your body today, whatever that looks like for you. Please drink plenty of water. It is still bloody hot out there. Pardon me while my English comes out. Drink plenty of water. Take care of yourself. Your brain works better when it is well hydrated. I do encourage you to get some early in your day bright light. The clouds are absolutely fluffy and beautiful, but there was plenty of sunlight today. It's called a circadian rhythm. It is a hormone cycle. It is a natural thing. It's science. You can look it up. When you get that 5 to 10 minutes of early in the day, and I'm talking like early, before 9 o'clock in the morning. So if that's not possible, artificial light is okay. Is artificial light works too. I'm sorry. There's just a lot going on right now. Okay. You'll have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. I can tell that I'm slowly losing the thread of this. So I'm going to remind you, my Ernest Holmes quote, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. It doesn't matter what's going on. It's a mindset. It's a state of consciousness. It is something that you learn to create for yourself. When you learn that heaven is a mindset, the kingdom of God is within you. All right. Jesus said it. Heaven ceases to be a place that you have to get to and can become any place that you are. We want to create a world that works for everybody. That's how we do it. By learning ourselves where heaven is. And then we move through the world differently. We treat people differently. We recognize who we are. We recognize who they are. That's how we create a world that works for everybody. All right. We'll make different decisions. It is the way it is. So, and you could always take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. That's what our, Ms. Gatlin was talking about today. Whatever the problem, go to God first. Always go to God first. Because heaven is within us. It's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. And you come pre-installed with it. All right. I don't know what I was about to say. So I'm going to remind you, social media. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the Reading Ryan on the social medias that I am on. Please feel free to check all that out. We have an amazing soul session that we have up from just Wednesday night, which is Oh, Gus, the storm was Wednesday night. I'm losing my mind. It was Wednesday night. I don't know what today is. It's Friday. Okay. And email info@creativelife.org if you want to know what's going on. That will get you on the constant contact. That way you will know what's going on even when I clearly have lost my mind, because it happens. So avail yourself of that. The hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll take you right to. And there is in the email a click here now, a hot link for the Soul Session playlist. Okay. Even on the days that I don't feel like it, I still say it, right? I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a pray up day, a get prayed up day, a whatever the problem, nowhere to go day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You're a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased and well represented. You are a divine spark, a brilliant light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, a Gatlin. All right, beloveds. Oh, it's all up in my sinuses. I'm sorry. Whatever else you do today, please remember, the first answer is always good to go to Spirit. Always. And then everything else will sort itself out. Okay. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. Please take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.